Hi, I'm Alfredo Bamos, and I'll show you how to go from a sketch like this into an Android app like this. They look identical, don't they? I forgot about. uh, One thing that I learned over these years is that when possible, we should design or develop in the browser, or in this case, in an editor. Android Studio is the one we are using on this course. Manual sketching or hand-drawn sketches are great for mind setting, for kickstarting the process, for teamwork and fairly complex projects. But for all else, we should design or develop with the content in hand, meaning we should use the content in real time within the editor and see the changes happen. That's why the sketch and the final Android app look so different. Having said that, let's look at the code. This is the code itself. Uh, but in order to start coding, we need to identify a few things. We will use the sketch for doing that. The first thing we need to identify are the views, the content itself. We will ignore for now the navigation bar and focus on the main content. Um, First, we can see that we'll have an image view, which will contain the image or photo we'll be using. This is supposed to be the selfie from my sister. Sorry, sis. I hope you don't kill me. Uh, and we'll have two text views. One that says Happy Birthday Mirinha, the other says Made with Love by Alfredo Bamos. This was the initial plan. As you will see, now it changed. Now, the other thing that we can see by this sketch is that each view is positioned independently of the other. So, as we learned already in this course, to group views, we will use relative layout. So, let's play. As relative layout it's here, the element is the first element of our app, so we call it a root element. This is the root element, and since we want to have the most immersive possible experience, we want to blend with the entire screen of our smartphone. So in the width and height of our layout, we will choose the value match parent, which means, since it's the root, that will match the screen size available. Okay, the first view we'll be adding to our relative layout is the image view. In order to do something with image view, we need an image, in this case a photo. We need to find a photo, preferably a photo that fits well in the context of what we are trying to achieve. We need to edit and style it before adding it to the Android Studio. Having the photo, we will add it to the drawable folder. Here's mine, Marina Burlesque, JPEG. Uh, After adding into the drawable folder, it's time to add it to code. That's why we have Android source. This is the location of the image. But we also want the image to fit nicely on the screen, to look great. That's why for the width and height of the image, we are using the attribute match parent. Match parent means that the width and the height of that object will match its parent. In this case, it will match the container of relative layout. As we know, relative layout is fitting nicely on the screen, doesn't have any spaces left. So the image will also stretch to all available screen size. But we also wanted to not only stretch but to center the image. So as we previously added outside Android Studio, want the face, the smile, the main parts of our image to show off regardless of the screen size. So we use center crop. The difference between center crop and other attributes and values is that, for example, if we remove crop and just leave it center, it will pick up the image that is smaller than screen size for this exercise only. It should always be bigger because there are different screen sizes. We should use a biggest possible image optimized for mobile access. In the center, it creates these white borders, and if the screen size or the smartphone increases the screen size, we will see more white spaces. That's why we use center. In this case, only in this case, the image is smaller. It will stretch the image, making it more pixelated, not ideal. This is the image view. After the image view, we need to add the birthday message. That's why we need a text view. I added an ID attribute. It's easier for us to find the purpose of this text view. Why do we create this text view? And it's great for tutorials like this. We know that this text view is for a birthday message. We created under the text, happy birthday, Mirinha. You see a little detail here, dash N. This is for creating a new line. Independent of the size of the text, uh, it will always put Mirinha in a new line. You will see here, when I recite the text, happy birthday Mirinha, it will always go to a new line. Okay, this is a small detail, a personal choice. I like it best. Uh, the other thing that matter here is the width and weight are wrap content. This means that the container, the text view container, will always be of the same size of the content itself. So the text and all other dimensions uh, we add inside that container. It means that when we change the text size for smaller, the container of text view will also become smaller. You can see that with this blue border here. Okay. Now, the other thing worth mentioning here is the text size I chose 34xp. This is the display one font size of Material Design. I try to stick with most Material Design standards. This is display one font size. I think it's okay with this mockup. This app is a good size. I chose the orange because the color orange could be another one, but the orange because it fits nicely with the darker tone of photo. The font family is serif. Okay, it's not perfect. It's a standard for the purpose of this exercise. It's enough. It's also a good mix between handwritten and machine script. Another thing that I added is the padding that gives a breathing space for the text. For example, if I added 1 dp, the text will be too close to the screen edge, wouldn't look nice, and if we had another counter around it, it will be very hard, would be very hard to read. So the happy birthday message. The second text view we identified too, if you remember, the second text view is up for the credits. On the credits, the only two things worth mentioning are the position of the credits. It's aligned at the bottom of the screen, so I created this. I added this attribute, layout align parent button and set it to true. And the other thing worth mentioning is the text size, 12sp. This is material design caption font size, the closest one that I found to a footnote. Okay, and this is the app. We went from this to this. I hope you enjoy it. See you next time.